Okay, we are going to do part two of Leo and Gemini compatibility of signs because, like we mentioned in part one, all of the elements work well together. We have the modalities, the elementals, and the planets, and there's a mythology connected to Gemini and Leo, like there is with Leo and Virgo, Mercury. So we are going to go and, excuse me, begin to talk about the compatibility of signs and go into details about, you know, the different compatibility. And I believe I spoke a lot about the Leo man, right, with the Gemini woman, and I'm going to talk a little bit more concerning that dynamic. Then I'm going to flip it and talk about the Gemini man and the Leo woman. Uh, understand, hold on one second, let me understand that um, the Leo man is going to really want to be left alone most of the time and really doesn't want to be bothered unless it's something really, really important that will require that you disturb him or bother him. He, like Taurus and all the other fixed signs, with the exception of Aquarius, likes and cherishes his routine. Yeah, he does. And he doesn't want anyone to disrupt his routine, you know. And the routine, unfortunately, is laying around and doing nothing. Not because he's lazy. I mean, in a way, he can be. But usually, for his psychological well being, the Leo man needs plenty of rest. Now, the the Gemini woman can also engage in lots of conversations with the Leo man. Because the Leo man has a lot of wisdom. You know, he's not the king for nothing. You know, he has wisdom. The Leo man. People sleep on the Leo man because they're so put off with his energy, his laid back energy. That's why he gets along well with Virgo. No. And part of the mythology of these two signs, that part of laying in the pastures plays into their mythology. But understand that Leo is, because he's so laid back, and so he can be understated as well as majestic, or he could be majestically understated. But you still know that there's something there. But he's being so humble and watering it down or downplaying it that he actually exudes more than what he's trying to hide. The more he hides his light, the more he shines of it. The same with the Leo woman. These people could not put a blanket over themselves and hide their light if they tried. It'll burn right through the blanket and you can still see the light. Leo, they have this light, and that light can have different sources. It could be the light of the soul, or the light of the heart, or the light of the enlightened personality. Because let me tell you, Leo, both the man and the woman, but the Leo man, I've seen this in Leo men, especially if they are more balanced and educated. You can see some real motherfucking geniuses. I mean, geniuses of Aquarian, of Leo men. that are fucking smart, intelligent. They will blow your mind with the kind of wisdom that comes out of Leo. But understand that the opposite polarity of Leo is Aquarius. And what do we say Aquarius represents? The otherworldly, the outer planets, you know, cosmic truths that transcends the truth that we find here on earth. Otherworldly, the mystery of God itself is the dominion of Aquarius. So understand that Aquarius holds the final answer to mankind, the meaning behind God, and the purpose of man's position in the cosmos. All that is contained in Leo. Don't sleep on Leo. Leo ain't just another pretty face. Leo means a lot more than meets the eye. But unfortunately, what meets the eye when you see a Leo is just a lazy animal laying in the pastures. And that's the behavioral psychological dynamic that most Leo men portray. And because they portray that, you don't get to see or hear their hidden wisdom. They hold it in and keep it for themselves, but they're willing to share it with anyone that would listen. So this is really, really good if Gemini, because Gemini, who is eternally asking questions, and Leo, always seeking an audience and attention, will play right into Gemini's curiosity of wanting to obtain knowledge, because Gemini loves obtaining knowledge. And any way that she or he can obtain it, let me tell you, it's like a captivated audience. Perfect opportunity for Leo to captivate Gemini. He has his audience right there. And to give of himself intellectually, if we're dealing with this type of Leo, it's something that can spark the most fabulous of love affairs and romances. Because the Gemini woman will never tire, or man, of the wisdom that comes from the Leo man or woman. And the Leo man or woman will never get tired of imparting such wisdom because now they have an audience. So now Leo doesn't have to cause attention, negative attention, to get attention. Leo doesn't have to engage in negative behavior in order to obtain attention from the person that they love or they hold dear. Because now the Gemini person is willing to eat from their hands. And all Leo got to do is be its majestic self and impart knowledge like a king does to its subjects. And this is what will keep a relationship like this rather harmonious. This is something that I don't think would happen right away if you're dealing with young people. But the Gemini woman and man are still quite awakened, even when they're young, and can actually hold toe to toe with even older folks, 20, 30 years older than they are. So the Gemini intellect can awaken pretty early, and that in itself can be an exception. And in a situation where you have young people that really have it together, whereas most adults are way in the 30s and 40s and 50s may not have it as together as some of these young people may have it together. That right there is very indicative of Gemini, which symbolizes youth. Okay, and it's very interesting that when you observe young Geminis, they really do hold the type of intellectual acuity and emotional maturity to engage in a relationship with far older men than their ages and handle it. With Leo, not so much. If we're dealing with the Leo man, the Leo man will probably, because he's so easily seduced. The Leo man is easy to get his pants off. Any woman can get the Leo man. The Leo man cannot help but be flattered. He will give himself to any woman that shows interest, and so will the Libra man. These men find that difficult to turn pussy down, and then they get into trouble. You know, but and this can be a problem if you're dealing with a Leo man who's young, sexy, and immature. And doesn't know how to put it together, keep it in his pants. Now the Gemini woman could enjoy that because it creates buzz and fracas, and the Gemini woman loves and strives off of that. So does the Gemini man. So, but if there are true feelings involved, the more closer this combination grows together, the more invested they become emotionally. And that's when things can surprisingly turn awry. But even before we get there, let's just put it at the level that you're dealing with boyfriend and girlfriend, any age. There are still some fundamental issues concerning this combination that you would think will be something that you'll find in teenagers and adolescents. Yet you find certain behavioral dynamics that you should only find in teenagers and adolescents and fully adulterated relationships when it comes with this combination. And one of those determinants with this combination um, that deals with like childlike behavior with Leo, because we're going to start there and then go to Gemini. With Leo is something as simple as throwing a temper tantrum or pouting. Something that you will see an adolescent do, an adolescent girl. And if it's an adolescent boy, he'll rant and rave and slam a door and storming, like a typical teenage boy would do. This is the type of behavior that you will see observed with a Leo man, where he can be a 40, 50-year-old, and all of a sudden, if he reacts in a way that is against what he wants, because take away what he wants or deny him what he wants, like an Aries man, and you're going to see right before your eyes a total digression back to being a baby or a child or adolescent. Very typical of fire signs, especially the men of the fire. This can annoy the Gemini woman, or she can find it amusing. It depends on which day she wakes up on. Because with the Gemini woman, you just never know. And that's what makes her so delicious. So deliciously exciting. Because you never know which side the bread is going to be buttered on that day. Now, whereas Leo, the Leo man, he depends on that bread to be buttered exactly where it was buttered yesterday. No changes, please. And understand that this is very intrinsic with the psychological behavior of Leo. Remember, it's fixed fire. And when we're talking about fixed, we are talking about a routine, and a routine that doesn't change. Just like when we're talking about cardinal or cardinality, we're talking about movement and action, active force. So with Leo requiring constant attention, because then there is a situation where if you don't give him enough attention, Miss Gemini, and she being, see, both signs, Leo and Gemini, can be very selfish towards each other, and selfish against each other, and there's a difference. And then what happens? The Gemini woman is so absorbed with her own needs that she's not looking at the needs of the Leo man. And the Leo man, being as narcissistic as he can be, will absolutely not even recognize the person that's in front of him. Only that there's a figure that moves in and out of vision and bathes him, clothes him, gives him sex, gives him money, or takes care of him. But like, you don't really see the person. I know it sounds fucked up, but I'm telling you the truth. You know, unless the little man really loves you and really cares for you, and after he's done testing you and putting you through the mill, where he convinces himself that you're the one that he's gonna dedicate his heart to, then you see a different side of him. But in the meantime, oh no, you might experience the motherfucker, and it will be an act. It won't be the actual real person. Okay. Now, if we flip it and we talk about the Gemini man with the Leo woman, here we have a situation. The Leo woman will probably be bamboozled initially, initially by the Gemini man. Because the Gemini man with that silver tongue of his and that swagger, because I said Gemini men are very sexy. And even those that don't appear physically sexy or attractive got that silver tongue that can whet anyone's appetite. Gemini know men how to do this now, and so does Virgo men. So, what happens upon meeting? The Leo woman is not going to be paying attention to the man that's looking at her or trying to court her. She's not going to pay attention. The Leo woman is not concerned with knowing you personally. If you enter the Leo woman's sphere of influence, if you enter her proximity, you best believe that you have gotten far enough, because she has been letting you get away with getting closer to her. You think you caught her, or you think you targeted her to approach her. No, you didn't. She put herself in the position for you to target her. She already saw you before you entered the building and decided that you are the target. And then she just played the possum and made you believe that you were calculating all the moves, where she already sized you up from before you entered the salon. The Leo woman is something else. I can't not talk enough about her. A true queen of fire. I don't want to say it too loud, because then Aries, who is the cardinal of fire, might get offended. But listen, none of this will matter without that sun. We need that sun. Without that sun, none of this will exist. So I'm always going to bow to the sun. I guess that makes me a pagan. Listen. The Gemini man is going to know exactly how to capture the Leo woman. All he's got to do is just praise her from here to the highest of the heavens, and the Leo woman will fall. And then once he got her in his cage, he'll be lucky if she doesn't eat him alive. Because when the Leo woman wakes up from a disillusioned state, because she's been bamboozled by diabolical trauma, she can turn on you faster than a whore changes bed sheets. Okay. Or a sex worker, I say whore because, I want it to be more dramatic. But, and I got a lot of respect. But let me tell you, she is someone that when she becomes disappointed in love and her partner disappoints her, oh my God, it is the most horrific experience that you can go through. And the thing is that what it makes this combination a little scary for me is that if the Leo woman, well, let's face it, the Leo woman will most probably be unaware. She'll be unaware. She will find out that something is wrong. Usually when things really hit the fan. The Leo woman is a little girl inside. And she is trusting you. She's very trusting. And when that trust is violated, like with cancer, or any woman really for that matter, there's some women that might not be able to bounce back from that kind of primal pain of betrayal. The Leo woman is such a woman. She could be that type of woman that will not bounce back from such a devastation. And it can happen from women. I've had women in my own client base, young and middle-aged or older, or in their prime, that have suffered the same level of betrayal. And it has devastated them, each in their own station. So there is no shielding from that kind of pain. The little woman isn't going to understand why, or why she had to go through that type of pain and experience. But the good thing is that when she does wake up and sees that there's garbage next to her, then you see a different woman. Oh my goodness. That's when the sun becomes extremely dangerous to humans. Mm. And what's so fascinating is that when she's done with you, it'll be years. The same men who will come back to the little woman, crying, begging for forgiveness, begging for a chance to come back. I'm pretty sure that all little women that are watching this YouTube video can have accounts to say that they've had niggas come back to them after they have treated them so badly. They come back begging, crying, broken because their luck has gone awry. When you fuck with a little woman, you're fucking with your own luck. Really? Okay, okay. Oh well. You don't know what you got? Are you going to squander it and wait till the rain? A little woman? Really? Okay. Now the universe is really going to fuck you up, and good too. You might not get another woman like a little woman ever again. You only get one, like one shot deal. You know? So understand that a Leo woman requires so much attention, so much energy, so high maintenance. But so is Gemini, even as the men. And the men are extremely attractive men, and so are the women. My goodness, so are the women. But understand that both these signs can be prima donnas. They have to rise above their own level of immaturity and their own level of narcissism before they can begin to see the person that's in front of them. And then when they accept it, because that's the other process, is that they have to accept each other. They have to look at who each one is, and then accept what they're looking at. And if they can do that, then this combination can be, as children, just blissful and beautiful. And we're done with this combination.